If you were 11 or 12 years old when GTA 5 came out, you're probably finishing college right now or dealing with your first job. If you were 18, you're here in your 30s. When this game launched, social media was different, our lives were different, and the world didn't seem to move this fast. I didn't step into Los Santos on the exact release day back in 2013, but the following year, right around Christmas, my life back then was incredibly simple. I used to spend hours mining in Minecraft, playing with my siblings, or moving around in front of the Xbox 360 Kinect. That console was my first real machine, my leap into something bigger. I had been seeing the game everywhere for months. My favorite YouTubers were uploading videos about it. People on the internet talk about GTA 24/7. And even though I was a kid, that open world completely caught my attention. I knew I was getting a game that Christmas. But when I opened the present and saw that cover, the excitement was unreal. I ran to the console with an innocence that I just don't have today. And I vividly remember the ritual of that era. Holding the disc with absolute care, putting it into the tray, waiting for it to load, and that was it. Time to play. No endless gigabyte installations, no day one patches, no loading screens that take hours. It felt like magic. And stepping into Los Santos, it blew my mind to know I could do whatever I wanted. It's true, a game was for adults, and for a kid, maybe there were things with a love of morbid curiosity or strange missions, like the paparazzi one, that took me completely out of my comfort zone. But with the innocence of my age, I didn't see the malice in the game. I only saw the wonderful freedom of exploring a new world with endless possibilities. At first, I didn't have Xbox Live because back then, paying for a subscription felt insanely expensive, so I beat the story mode about 10 times. I knew the dialogues by heart, I knew exactly what was going to happen in the next mission, but I never got tired of it. The fun didn't depend on the game updating every week, it was about squeezing every drop out of what we had. Later on, a friend and I would take turns with the controller on the exact same couch every time we respawned at the hospital. We'd grab a car and jump that famous fence to try and steal a fighter jet from the military base, and whoever pulled it off won a bet. We could spend hours doing the exact same thing, laughing, completely free of distractions, and without needing $50 million in a virtual bank account to have a good time. We played for the simple sake of playing. But the years don't forgive. I went from middle school to high school, and the game just stayed there installed, silently watching my life change. The real breaking point came with college. Projects appeared, exams, relationships, real responsibilities, and the time to play started to shrink. GTA 5 survived 3 different console generations, which is absolutely crazy. But as the game migrated from platform to platform, my online friend list slowly started fading out. Those friends I used to spend entire afternoons took completely adult paths. Some became parents, some got married, others are traveling the world and building their lives, leaving their controllers tucked away in a drawer. Today, I don't talk to them, I don't reply to their messages, I don't even know anything about them anymore. The game survived completely intact, but the squad you used to play with disappeared forever. One day, you played with them for the last time and we didn't even notice. Today, I'm 22 years old, almost 23, and my life is completely different. As kids, we had all the time in the world but lacked a bigger map. As adults, we have the map but lack the time. The same 24 hours I had at 12 years old just don't last the same today. Now we log into the game with an efficiency mindset, optimizing everything, calculating the Cayo Perico heist, completing missions as fast as possible, and squeezing out the maximum amount of cash in the shortest time. Ironically, to beat time in real world, we end up turning our safe place into a work routine where there's no room left to just waste time. That's why, looking at all the hype, leaks, and theories surrounding GTA 6, I realize a pretty harsh truth. In reality, many of us aren't waiting for the game itself. What we are desperately waiting for is to feel that sensation we had when we were kids. That pure thrill of sitting down to discover a new world without expectations, without judging it, without analyzing how many millions it cost to make. Today, we are bombarded with facts like Rockstar is spending $2 billion on a development that cost more than the Burj Khalifa. Okay, it's an interesting fact, but a decade ago, Nobody cared about a corporation's budget. We entered games knowing so much about the industry, we stripped the mystic away from what we used to see, simply as a game. And today many of us are living in the gaming chair syndrome. Maybe today you have a great PC, the latest generation console, or the setup you always dreamed of having as a kid, but when you sit in the chair, look at the library full of titles, and you simply don't feel like playing anything. And that's because before it was just you and the controller. Today it's you, the controller, and 20 worries on your mind. Money, work, the future, life. The game no longer competes against other games, it competes against our own minds. On top of that, the environment changed. 12 years ago, the world moved slower, at its own pace. Today, social media bombards us with so much immediacy and hate that if we don't slow down, we are going to ruin the launch of GTA 6 ourselves, by smothering it with a toxic level of high expectation the day it drops. At my young age, I honestly thought I couldn't be amazed or feel that childhood magic ever again. Recently, with the launch of Forza Horizon 6, something curious happened to me. I always loved racing games, but logging into this new title, I felt like I didn't have that same drive to explore or do missions. However, one day, while waiting in an online lobby for a race, the match got delayed. I was stuck on the map with other player and started bumping my car into a stranger's car. We ended up playing tag for 15 minutes. I don't know if the race got cancelled or what happened, but we never actually played it. And right there, after so many years, I felt that feeling of playing like a kid again. Having fun with something so simple or silly, in the eyes of an adult, is proof that the kid who used to be amazed is still living inside us in some way. Maybe some people abandon him or just don't pay attention to him. But that capacity to enjoy things is what keeps our passion for video games alive. The day we let that kid die is the day we die as gamers. And when I ask myself what I truly miss, if it's the game from 2013 or the person I was back then, I think the answer is a mix of both. I miss how games used to feel slower, different. Companies didn't just let themselves be driven purely by money. They paid more attention to their community. And of course, the person I was back then is very different from who I am today. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. Growing up is part of life, but it undeniably changes the way we experience things. Many of us started this journey as kids, not just with GTA 5, but with other games. Today we are adults, and some who started before us might even be elderly by now. The world moved forward, the industry changed, and so did we. GTA 5 was the time capsule of an era that isn't coming back. It became our safe place for over a decade, an unalterable refuge, while our lives threw 1,000 twists and turns outside. That's why saying goodbye to these streets is going to be a difficult and nostalgic emotional shift for an entire generation that grew up in Los Santos. Stepping into GTA 6 is going to be incredible, but it's also going to be the definitive farewell to a piece of our childhood. Hopefully, when we cross that threshold, we'll know how to do it through the eyes of the kids we still are. Before we finish, I'd like to ask you, how old were you when you played GTA 5 for the first time? And how has your life changed from that date until today? Leave it down in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in reading your story. And while we are at it, let me know what you think of this style of video. More reflective and laid back. If you like this type of video, let me know so I can bring more content like this to the channel. So that's a wrap for today, guys. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. If you like this video, drop your like. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.